Okay, so this time I've got a Amstrad CPC 464. Growing up, didn't have much experience of these. I had a few friends that had one. They were quite expensive just because didn't get the computer just like this. You had to have it with came with a monitor, and I think it was something like £299 for the mono monitor and £399 for the colour monitor. And again, obviously, because I want to play games on it mostly, it was the color monitor for me. So just never really got round to it. A few years ago, I found this at there's a Sunday car boot at Hitchin, and I think I got this with the monitor for about £20. And yeah, it's in a bit of a state. The monitor, the screen was just rolling on it. I need to have a look at that at some point. But today I thought I would try it using one of these leads to see if I can get it to work with a regular TV set. As you can see, the control key's missing off of there. I've just taken one of them keys off just to kind of see what the fittings are like. And it looks very similar to the Commodore 64, which is unfortunate because the control key I've got, which I will show you in a second, is a completely different style. So this is the control key I managed to get for it. So I'm assuming different years, different styles of keys. So this one kind of has a spring and some clips on the bottom. And as you can see, totally incompatible with this particular style of keyboard. So I'm going to have to try and get something else. I'll keep this key anyway, because probably at some point in the future I'll come across another Amstrad that might have that style of keyboard. But yeah, something to be wary of if you are buying new keys for it. Make sure you get the right type for your particular keyboard. So this is the lead. Again, the way the Amstrad 464 worked, got the power from the monitor itself. So right now, this would be, so the monitor had a lead like that, and then a 5-volt power supply. This one basically bypasses that, also gives you stereo sound as well out, which is kind of quite handy. So you get a 5-volt 2 amp power supply, 2.1mm jack. It's positive in the middle, negative on the outside. If you look on my notes, I've actually found where you can get one of these from. It's a 3 amp one. Being a little bit higher ampage isn't a problem. If it was higher voltage, that would be an issue. But we'll try it. We've got a little power switch on the side here. And that's looking pretty good. Very nice clear signal. Just checking all the keys are working here. Bridget. Okay. So I'm trying to press the play button here, but it's not going down. All I can press is the stop and the pause button. Power it off. And again, with this lead, you've got to be very careful how you connect it and disconnect it. You can't really connect it powered up. You've got to connect it unpowered, because it's also, I believe, putting some voltage to the SCART socket as well. So again, you just got to be mindful of that. So I give the tape player a little bit of a clean up. I mean, really, all the keys need to come off. It does need a good cleaning up anyway. But for today, I just really want to see if I can get this working again, see if I can get the tape player working. I mean, I'm happy, at least electrically, it all seems to be fine. Right. 6 screws on the bottom. Woo. Just having a quick look over the printed circuit board here. Everything looks pretty good. Very dusty at the top. Chip wise, everything looks good. Yeah, I actually like the fact that they've used some sockets on this as well. So the CPU socketed as well as the memory there, which is quite handy. So right now, just dismantling this tape drive a bit, just pulling the printed circuit board off a little bit here, just so I can have a look underneath and see what we got. So again, the part I need to get to is under that big flywheel there. So to get to that, I need to remove the volume knob, which I believe is for the tape recorder. So just need to remove that little earth strap as well, which is handy because it allows me to lift this mechanism up a little bit. I've got to get into this side screw here. Originally I was going to try and go through the volume knob. If I had a smaller screwdriver I probably could. I was able to pull it up here. That's it, just be able to unscrew that. So again, just take this off very carefully. Watch out for springs as well, because as you can see, if you're not careful, yep, thought I had a good grip on it and there it goes. Managed to find it again. So that's the issue I've got, is that stop mechanism is staying in, which is then preventing any of the other buttons to be pressed. So with that out, I can now press the play button. What I did notice is, if you look there, you can see one of the springs is missing, and that's what's stopping it, so it's not going back in again. I just thought I'd give it a little knock, see if it was in the case somewhere. If it is, it's lodged in good, but yeah, I think it's gone. I think somebody knows that it's gone as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the one from the fast forward for now, and I'm just going to put that in where the stop one is. Again, when I press this, just making sure that fast forward isn't going to cause an issue. So again, watch the spring. 1 minute it's there. As I push down, gone. Luckily again, I managed to find it. But when I had a closer inspection of this, I realised the reason why that spring's no longer there is, as you can see on the one I've taken it out, there's a little point that it goes into, which is missing off of the stop one. So for now, what I've done, I've just put like a little bit of tape over there, just to stop it pinging out. Again, I'm going to have to open this up because I'm going to have to put a spring back in there, and I'll have to come up with another solution for this. But just for now, just to test to make sure the tape mechanism is playing, because it might be the tape mechanism completely dead anyway. It might not work at all. So just putting this spindle back together again. You got the wide washer at the bottom, then the spring, and then like a smaller washer at the top, plastic washer at the top. And that seats back in there. And then just a case of getting the belt back on. The belt actually isn't in too bad a condition. Again, I've got spare belts if needed, but to be honest, that doesn't look too bad. Just getting this thing back on as well. Just be mindful of this when you're trying to screw this together. You see the screw goes in that long slot, but that little part needs to go into that plastic part there, otherwise it probably will not work properly. So I just thought I'd screw down this metal mechanism first. Just get the one screw in the top there. That's all good. Power and for the side, it's like a short keyboard one, and for the goes back in the side. The thing I do like about these Amstrads is the way they've made it so easy to come apart as well. Just literally, once you've unscrewed them 6 screws, so you just disconnect the cables for the keyboard and the tape unit, and it comes away nice and clean, which I do like. Makes it a lot easier to work on. So just get that little earth-in strap back down there again. Get the volume knob back in. Just screwing down the printed circuit board again, and these are proper threaded screws on that. The other ones just go into plastic, so they're kind of a coarser screw. So now the issue I've got is the fast forward is coming down as well when I'm pressing the play, which is not going to be much good. For now, what I've done, I've just used a bit of insulation tape just to keep that up out the way. So again, just try it. Obviously, if I press the fast forward, it's just going to stick down and stay down. But right now, I just want to test to make sure it is actually working. So just plug in the tape drive back in, plug the keyboard, 6 screws back in. That's it, just plug all this back in again. Like I say, just making sure there's no power going to it. This is the only game I can find at the moment, Bridget. So, apparently to load a game, we press Control, Enter, nope. Hey, wrong enter, isn't it? Control, Enter. Okay. Oh, there we are, run. So as you can see there, I'm hitting the top of the tape drive because the motor was running really slow, and then as soon as I did that, it just sped up a little bit, so it's actually going at the proper speed now. And the other thing with the volume on the side, you can actually hear the tape. Very gently, but again, it's quite nice to be able to hear that. At least you know there's data coming off of it and it is reading it correctly. Just removing a bit of dust there with a pair of pliers. Yep, that's looking pretty good. I will see you next time. I'll have to do some more work on this one, I think, just to get it up to how I want it, but it's pretty much there, which is handy. Just need to find a spring now for that tape mechanism. Alright, I'll see you on the next one.